Memphis and Hamza seemed really happy together, but then everything came crashing down around them when they split up, and now they're in the middle of an intense custody battle, and you'll never believe the amazing win that Hamza just got. So ever since Memphis and Hamza broke up, things have been super tense between the two of them, especially when it comes to their daughter. Hamza has been super open about how much, he's been missing seeing her, and that's mainly because Memphis has allegedly been keeping her from Hamza, and the whole thing is especially confusing considering that the judge apparently ruled in Hamza's favor and allowed his visitations of their daughter. Reportedly, back in July of 2022, Hamza was granted monitored visits with their daughter, and basically the judge said that he could visit the baby as long as Memphiss was also there, and Memphiss probably didn't like that at all, and we know that she's made some pretty serious allegations against Hamza in the past, and that's probably why she wanted to keep their daughter away from him, and why this, thing had to go to court in the first place. But even though Hamza was actually granted visitation rights with their daughter, Memphiss hasn't been letting him see her, and Hamza has been super upset about this. But now it looks like things might be looking up for him again. Just a couple of days ago, Hamza dropped a massive hint about the ongoing custody battle, and he posted this thing to his Instagram stories where he talked about how happy he was, and he said that he would be seeing his daughter really soon and that she was the light of his heart. And he also added that he loved America because there were laws to help a parent who wanted to see his daughter, and he also thanked everyone who stood by his side and showed him love and support. And it hasn't been easy for him to go without seeing his daughter for this long, but now it looks like the wait might finally be over. And ever since he made that post, there have been a lot of headlines talking about Hamza's amazing custody win, and unsurprisingly, Memphiss didn't like this at all, so she took to Instagram to make some things clear and hit back against some people. So Memphiss said that she had been seeing a lot of headlines about how she allegedly lost custody of her kids, but that was not the case at all, and she asked people not to waste their time by listening to fake gossip and cruel lies, and she confirmed that she didn't lose custody of anyone and that her kids were still with her and that they were all feeling great and blessed. And I think it's pretty clear that something did happen with the custody battle, since Hamza made it clear that he would be seeing his daughter really soon, but whatever win he got, it definitely wasn't full custody, which isn't exactly surprising considering that what he was granted back in July were monitored visits. And I actually thought this was pretty weird, like why was he only allowed to see his daughter while someone else was there? And I found this theory online that maybe he was only granted monitored visits because of the allegations that Memphiss made against him, and she said that he made some really negative and humiliating comments about her in the past, and maybe all these allegations were why the judge would only allow monitored visits to Hamza, at least for now. Another thing I saw that I thought was pretty weird was that allegedly one of the reasons Hamza hasn't seen his daughter in so long is because he wanted Memphiss to bring the baby to see him in Chicago. And I don't know if this is true, but allegedly someone close to Memphiss said this is what happened, and this obviously isn't how visitations work, and it should be up to him to go visit his daughter, and Memphiss shouldn't have to go all the way to Chicago for this. And I honestly hope that this isn't what the problem has been this whole time, because Hamza has made it pretty clear that he's been missing his daughter more than anything, and he's been talking about this for months. I mean, back in June during Father's Day, he went on Instagram to say that this would have been his first Father's Day with his daughter and that he wished they were celebrating together, and then he added that he missed her every single day and that he didn't know when he would be able to see her next. And Memphiss actually took issue with that post because she posted something about Father's Day as well shortly after Hamza said this in his stories, and she said that people tended to forget that being a father went beyond helping to create a child, and then she said that a real father would sacrifice their own wants and dreams for their child. And now Memphiss didn't mention Hamza directly in her post, but it still felt pretty pointed, and this wasn't the only time that it was made clear that Hamza was missing his daughter. I mean, Hamza's sister also talked about it on her Instagram, Instagram, and she asked her followers if it was normal in America for someone to ignore a judge's ruling, and she said that in Tunisia, this would expose the person to penalties, and it was obvious that she was talking about Memphiss and Hamza, and how Hamza hasn't been able to see his daughter despite what the judge said, and his sister even confirmed this by saying that her brother suffered a lot without his daughter, but that he was not giving up on seeing her. But this is what I kind of found confusing, because Hamza has obviously been missing his daughter, and everyone's made that pretty clear. But if what I read is actually true, and the reason he hasn't seen her in ages is because he has been waiting for Memphiss to come to Chicago, then that's just really weird. And Hamza has been pretty open about how his life in Chicago hasn't been exactly perfect, and after some people questioned him on Instagram, he said that despite all those photos of him looking happy, he was actually really broken on the inside, and he said that, he wouldn't be okay until he got to see his daughter again, and that he was just trying to get through each day. And this is why I feel like it's super unlikely that Hamza hasn't tried to go back to Michigan to see his daughter, and after everything that he said about how unhappy he's been, that would just make him look like a massive hypocrite. But there is actually another thing I wanted to mention, and that's that the people have been telling Hamza to get a paternity test, and there's this theory that the baby isn't actually Hamza's at all, but that it might be someone else's, like Memphiss's ex. As far as I can tell, Hamza hasn't said much about this. He seems to be more focused on getting his daughter back instead of trying to figure out if she really is his daughter. And I still feel like there is so much we don't know about this situation. I mean, it's clear that Memphiss and Hamza have been fighting over custody rights, but both of them have said pretty different things. And if you look at what Hamza and his family have been saying, it looks like Memphiss has been keeping his daughter away from him for basically no reason at all. But then Memphiss and those close to her tell a completely different story, and according to them, Hamza has allegedly been making all these demands of Memphiss, like wanting her to come to Chicago, and plus there are also all those allegations that Memphiss has made against Hamza, so it's just hard to say who's in the right here. But either way, I hope they can work something out for the sake of their daughter. But what do you guys think? Did you hear about this intense custody battle, and who do you think is in the right here? Guys, let me know in the comments down below, and like always, do me a huge favor, hit that like, follow, share, subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.